How many of you have ever come across an anthill before? We all know that ants usually live in the ground and build hills like these. So if you were to stumble across this, you might easily mistake it for an anthill. It's actually the home of a ground nesting bee, also known as miner, chimney, or mud bees. These bees make their homes in loose, dry soil or clay. They look similar to honeybees in flight or during pollination, and sometimes are even confused with bumblebees. However, there are ways to tell the difference between these species. For one, honeybees make honey. While bumblebees make honey, they do not make as much as honeybees, and miner bees do not make any honey at all. Both honey and bumblebees are very social and live in large hives, while miner bees are solitary, with each bee living in its own hole. Honeybees are the most aggressive out of all three, and bumblebees needing a bit more provoking, while miner bees hardly ever sting because they don't have a queen or honey to protect. It should also be noted that honeybees die after stinging, whereas bumblebees and miner bees can sting multiple times. You can also ID these species by their appearance. Honeybees are slender with a light to dark brown body that has bands of amber alternating with black stripes. Bumblebees have stout, hairy, robust bodies. They are black, yellow, and sometimes red in color combination, and their head is often described as heart-shaped. They are larger than honey and miner bees. Miner bees are slender, like honeybees, but smaller, with a stout, furry body. They have brown to black bodies with yellow stripes like bumblebees, but aren't nearly as fuzzy. Miner bees range from Texas to the east coast of the United States and from Florida into Canada. They are usually one of the first signs of spring, with the adults emerging from early April to late June, depending on the region and climate. Because they come out earlier than most pollinators, their presence is vital to the success of early blooming plants, such as apples, blueberries, and strawberries. Mating happens soon after the bees emerge, with the males usually mating multiple times and the females once. After mating, the females will search for a suitable area to build a nest. The following clip is an example of what nest building looks like for miner bees. The tunnels average about 11 centimeters in length, and the holes are no more than 10 inches deep. They take about 6 hours to construct. Once they have excavated their desired area, they will excrete a clear liquid to line the walls with. Within the walls are cells, or little holes, where the female will lay her eggs. Each cell is protected by a secreted liquid, which is now hardened into a wax-like mold. But she's not done. She goes out and collects pollen and nectar from several plants, which she mixes with secretions to create another protective layer. She lays about 5 eggs, 1 per cell, and seals them with clay. The most amazing part of all of this? The female raises her young on her own, despite living alongside other bees in what appears as a small village. So, why are they important? A lot of people want to get rid of miner bees because they don't understand them or they see them as a nuisance. But they are actually very important for the environment and our economy, pollinating crops for humans and animals alike. They are only active for about 2 to 4 weeks and are not aggressive. If you absolutely cannot tolerate these bees in your yard, then please refrain from using pesticides, as they are harmful to the environment. Instead, try making the environment less suitable for them. Sprinklers and heavy mulch will deter the bees from the area. Although they are not endangered, there are still many risks to miner bees. Besides pest control, these include lawn mowing, tilling, plowing, and invasive species. Honeybees, for example, are not native to North America, and they greatly threaten the biodiversity of native bees, including miner bees. This loss of biodiversity weakens ecosystems, as plants must be pollinated by a variety of species to truly flourish. If you want to help protect these bees, or even attract them to your yard, maintaining a pesticide-free garden with plenty of bare soil and many plant varieties, particularly native plants, is the best way to do so. Are there any questions?